I'm back here again for our video, and in this video I have a pretty big update for you guys. I've got a lot of cool stuff. I've got some new horror Blu-rays, I've got a couple figures and art print, as well as some pretty cool VHS, including some big box horror VHSs. And I also have my first ever 4K title. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to show is this very cool art print that I got at a local antique mall called Charles Webb Antiques, and this is an art print from a local artist who lives here in Virginia, Tracy Lupton. I've got a lot of art prints from him before. I've shown off his art, and when I saw this I knew I had to pick this up. This is this really awesome Jason print right here. I love how it looks like his mask is just kind of flaking away. But yeah, Tracy's a really nice guy. I've met him once, and he's a really great artist. And I just wanted to show his support and pick up an art piece from him. He has them for sale at the antique mall. He wasn't there. That's not where he stays. He just has a little place set up where he has his art prints. And yeah, very, very cool art right here. Now, next thing I'm going to show off are a couple of solar bobblers. And for those of you who don't know what they are, they're basically small little plastic. They're usually animals that people put outside, and basically when the sun hits them, their heads bobble back and forth. Well, my former coworker Justin found these for me at the Big Lots I used to work at. And they are Jason and Freddy solar bobblers. How cool are these? Like I said, they, you put them in the sun and their heads just bobble back and forth on their own. And these are both very nicely detailed. Like right here, here's Jason. You got some cracks in his hockey mask. Very, very cool. Now the only thing is that I kind of wish he wasn't holding a knife. I feel like that would have been more suited for Michael Myers. Since Jason never really, he never holds a knife. He always has a machete. I would have preferred if he had a machete, but that's my only complaint of Jason. And then Freddy, I love the detail on Freddy. Very, very cool. I just went into Big Lots one day, and Justin was there, and he said, "Hey, I found these," and I was like, "What?" Very, very cool. Show you the side and then the back. These are just really cool little items. I don't know how many, how many you can find. Big Lots, for the most part, they always have different things in every store, so you might be able to find these, you might not. I know that once I got both of these, the next time I went in there, there was only a couple of Jasons left, and then that was it. So let me show you guys the back, because the packagings are kind of cool. Like right here, you can see the Jason. They're $8 a piece, by the way, for those wondering. But you can kind of see Jason's mask right there, and girls screaming, and artwork all the way around. And here's artwork for Freddy. The great shot of Freddy right there on the back. But yeah, like I said, I talked to Justin on the phone. I think a couple weeks ago, and he said that he had these in the store. So when I went over there, and I went over there one day, and they ordered, and I got them. And yeah, very happy. So Justin, if you're watching, thank you very much. And like I said, Big Lots, it always depends on what your store carries. You might be able to find them, you might not, but it never hurts to look. Alright, now I'm going to move on to the Blu-rays. I'm going to start off with the one non-horror Blu-ray that I have, and that is The Lion King. Yes, I finally picked up a Disney movie on Blu-ray. And the reason why I've never picked this up is because, these are always released every few years. Disney does that thing where they'll release a movie and then they'll put it back in the vault, and then a few years later they'll re-release them. So there's always new releases of these movies coming out, and I just never felt the need to pick them up. But I was at Walmart today, and I decided to go in and pick it up. This is the Circle of Life edition, and The Lion King is my favorite classic Disney movie. I actually went to go see it with my mom when it got re-released on 3D, and this is just a pretty nice release. It also comes with a cool art, not an art card, like a film frame inside, and it's just the image of when Simba's being held up on Pride Rock. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool that they threw in a kind of a cool like little film frame, little thing. It's kind of a cool extra. So it was a limited edition. So I don't know how many copies of this came with the limited edition. Came with the film frames. But it was still kind of cool that they threw it in. And like I said, this might be the start of me collecting Walt Disney Blu-rays. I'm not going to go crazy over them. I'm just going to get probably my favorite ones. I'm not going to get every single one that comes out, but The Lion King, my favorite Disney movie, and I'm finally glad to own it on Blu-ray. Alright, now this was something else I picked up from Walmart, except I picked this one up a few weeks ago. That is Ash vs. Evil Dead, the complete third season. I already had season 1 and 2, and I'm glad to own season 3. I haven't watched this show yet. I really need to check it out. I've heard a lot of really great things about it, and I'm glad to finally own the entire series. Or at least that's what I'm thinking. I know that Bruce Campbell has announced that he will no longer be portraying Ash. So if they do decide to continue on with the series, I don't, and they decide to bring somebody else in, I really don't see. They haven't said anything about continuing it. So in my opinion, I think Evil Dead is done as far as with Bruce Campbell. But yeah, just a show that I've been meaning to check out. It's kind of hard for me to get into TV shows, and watch them, but I really want to check this out, and I actually might start watching it this October. Alright. Now, I did pick up another thing from Walmart, if I can find it. Huh. Oh, never mind. Sorry, it was the Lion. I actually picked up the Lion. I picked up the Lion King today from Walmart, and for some reason I thought that I had picked up something else, but I guess not. Anyway, guys, moving on. I did pick up something from Goodwill, and this was pretty cool. The Cabin in the Woods, still sealed. This was sold at, of course, Walmart. It has a promo sticker, so it was like a Black Friday. It was at a Black Friday sale. But yeah, pretty cool to find this one. I remember seeing this movie. I think I saw it in theaters, and I remember enjoying it. It wasn't. I liked that it was different from what I was expecting. I think a lot of people were kind of expecting it to be one thing, and it turned out to not be. And I thought it was a pretty enjoyable movie. Now it does say it's the Blu-ray and digital copy, but on the sticker right here it says Blu-ray DVD and digital copy, and there's nothing on the case that says that there's a DVD, so I don't know if the DVD is included or not. But either way, The Cabin in the Woods, just a movie that I never ended up picking up, and glad to own it. And for some reason, my Goodwill sells their Blu-rays for $5. I don't know if anyone else is Goodwill does that, but they sell their Blu-rays for $5. But there was one of the cashiers there. I went over and I asked her how much the Blu-rays were, because I was kind of hoping it'd be a little bit cheaper, and she said, "Well, they're usually $5, but I usually charge $2.50." So I checked out with her, and I got this for $2.50. Which is pretty good. Up next, show off something I got at Big Lots. I've heard different things about this movie. Devil's Due. Really don't know too much about it, but I figure for $3, why not pick it up? Just another horror movie to add to the collection, and I'll probably be checking it out this October. Alright, and now I want to show off something that I actually got the same day that I got that art print from Tracy. Well, I didn't get it from him. I got it from a store there. And I also got this from another store in my downtown area. It's The Possession. Except this one is actually different. If you guys notice, it's got different artwork on it. And even on the spine has the... let me show you guys. See, it says The Possession right there, but then it also has a title written in a different language. I'm not really sure what language it is. It is a Canadian Blu-ray though. So, yeah, this is pretty cool to find, a different release of the movie that I don't normally see. And I got this from a small store that I've gotten a lot of my horror figures from. Like I got my Sleepy Hollow figures from this guy's store, and I've gotten a few other figures from him that I've shown off. And so when I saw this, I wanted to pick this up just to just to support him. I like supporting small businesses. And one thing is cool, it actually has reversible artwork. And on this side of the art, the title was actually written in the other language, which I thought was kind of cool. Not really sure what language it is. I know it's a Canadian Blu-ray, and I'm pretty sure I know what language it is. I just can't think of what it is. But anyway, someone let me know in the comments. But as far as the movie goes, I thought this movie was pretty good. I enjoyed it. So yeah, glad to own it. Moving on, got a Scream Factory Blu-ray now, and that is The Exorcist 3. I've never seen this movie, and I've heard so much great stuff about it. I know my coworker Justin keeps telling me over and over again to watch it. I finally picked it up. I got a gift card for my birthday for Amazon, and this is what I got with it. Very happy to own this movie. Like I said, never seen it, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about it, so glad to finally own it in my collection. Alright, and now I'm going to move on to my 4K title, and I'm sure you guys have been seeing it in the corner, because every time I move my camera over, you guys can kind of see it, but that is Halloween. This is the 40th anniversary release, the 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray release. It's got a nice shiny cover. My first 4K title. I don't own a 4K player, so I don't plan on buying a lot more 4Ks. I just wanted to get this because I want to own, every release of Halloween that I can. And I figured, why not make this my first 4K, pickup. So, yeah, very happy to own it. There's a little sticker right here that says Halloween 40th anniversary, or 40 years of terror right there. It's the spine. And in the back, got the great shot of Michael up there, from the top of the stairs. Now, the only thing is that this release is actually the same as the 35th anniversary edition. It has the same special features. They didn't add anything new to it, which is kind of disappointing. I was hoping that for the 40th anniversary, they could have at least did something else. But, if you don't own a 4K player, the only difference between this one and the 35th anniversary is it's in 4K. So if you're kind of bummed, if you don't own a 4K player, and if you're kind of bummed that you're not getting this, it's not a huge disappointment because all the same special features that are on the 35th anniversary edition Blu-ray is on this release. So, it is what it is, but I'm so glad to own Halloween on 4K, and this actually makes it my 20th release of Halloween that I own. So now Halloween is the movie that I own the most of, as far as copies, different releases, so that's very cool. Now I'm going to move on and show off another Halloween item. I got this from a guy here, Steve Bennett, who has sent me some really cool Halloween stuff. He sent me the 35th anniversary edition UK Steelbook, and he sent me the Halloween 2 DVD hardbox. And he just recently sent me this. This is the Halloween 3. This is just a UK DVD release. He sent this for me because he knows how much of a fan I am of the films, and he wanted to, just give me this copy. Really like the artwork. The DVD release that I own of it, the Universal DVD, it has newer artwork. I'm glad that this one has the original artwork, which is cool. And I really like the back of it. You got all the masks. Like when they're sitting up there on the shelf. And then you got the scene of the kid, when he's getting his little buddy, when he's getting his head melted by the mask. And all the snakes come out, and there's the UK ratings. Pretty cool. The DVD is just a plain black DVD, but yeah, very happy to own another release of Halloween 3 to my collection. Very cool. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and show off the CD that I recently got, and this is the debut album from a band I've talked about before, and that is Beartooth. This is their debut album, Disgusting. In one of my previous updates, I showed off that I got their debut EP, Sick, and I've been wanting to get all their albums, so now I have their debut album, Disgusting, as well as their second album, Aggressive, and their EP. They do have a new album coming out at the end of September, so, excited to get that, but this was a band that I saw at Carolina Rebellion, and they just blew my mind, and they become one of my favorite bands. They really have, and I want to own everything that they put out, so I'm happy to finally own their debut album. Alright, And now I'm going to move on to the VHSs. I'm going to go ahead and show off the two non-horror VHSs that I have. This first one is one that I got from Goodwill, and that is the Buttercream Gang. I've heard the Horror Man talk about this movie a lot, and I've also heard a Cold Duder talk about this movie. It's just a movie that I think I enjoy. I really enjoy movies about a group of kids going through something or going on an adventure. Like, I love movies like The Goonies, The River Pirates, movies like that. And this is just another film that I just heard a lot of fun things about. So when I saw it there at Goodwill, I decided to go ahead and pick it up. Now, this next one is one I got at another Goodwill, and that is Night of the Twisters. And I've talked about this movie before. I did a review of it, and I absolutely love this film. It's one of my favorite TV movies. As I've said before in previous videos, when I was younger, I had a huge fascination with tornadoes, and this was one movie that I really liked. This has John Schneider and Devon Sawa in it, and as you guys can see, it is still sealed, which is very cool. But this one is actually different from the release that I own. This one was released by Sandstar Family Entertainment, which I've never heard of, but a couple of images on the spine. But when I saw this and I saw that it was still sealed, I knew I had to pick it up because I really do enjoy this movie. So this makes it my third copy of this movie. And whenever I see a movie that I enjoy, especially at like a secondhand store, if I find it brand new or if I find it sealed, I'll definitely pick it up because I like owning multiple releases of my favorite films. Of course, I just picked up a 4K release of Halloween, which makes it my 20th release of Halloween now. So, alright guys, and now I'm going to finish the video off by showing off my horror VHSs. So first I want to show off this one tape right here that I got from Goodwill. Hour of the Wolf. This was released by, directed by Ingve Bergman, which is cool. This is just a black and white film, but it is still sealed, which I thought was kind of cool. But yeah, I thought it just looked kind of interesting, so I just went ahead and I picked it up. Alright guys, now I'm going to move on to my horror big box VHSs. I have been getting back into VHS collecting. I stopped for a while, and I've recently been getting back into them, and I want to start collecting other, new or core rare horror VHSs. I want to start collecting big boxes, clamshells, and I just want to get into it, and I have 3 cool horror VHS big boxes to show off, and I also have 1 horror clamshell to show off. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one to show off is I Dismember Mama. This is a Video Gems big box right here. And yeah, this is very cool. For those of you who don't know, big boxes are basically just big cardboard boxes, and they have clamshells inside of them that have the actual tape. Or they might have a plastic tray inside of them that has the tape. But as you can see, it is a full box, and you open it up from the top or the bottom, and you get the either the clamshell or you get the tray out that has a tape for anyone who doesn't collect VHSs or no. But some of these are pretty old. These were really big, of course, back during the video store days, and I've never gotten into collecting them until now. So very happy to own this one right here. It's not in the best shape. It's actually pretty beat up, but just look at that artwork. VHS artwork was best. Got that girl right there on the knife. Just love classic VHS artwork. May she rest in pieces. Very cool. Next one is The Devil's Undead, and this has Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to check it out. This one's in, it's in an okay shape. This side right here is actually dented inward, as you can see. That's the problem with these big boxes. Some of them are, they don't, not all of them are in great shape because they're older. Usually if they were put out from put out in a video store, what the video stores would do is they would cut the box and they would cut it in half and then put the tape like in a plastic clamshell. That's what a lot of video stores did. That's why a lot of ex-rental tapes, you would find them in plastic clamshells, and the case or cover would be inside the clamshell, and they'd be cut. So, but There's the back. Very, very cool. Looks like a very cool movie. The movie is rated PG, but back during then, PG, didn't mean it. It didn't mean anything. Like Jaws is rated PG, and I'm sure everybody knows how bloody, Jaws is. So, very, very cool. Very happy to own this. And the last one, this big box, is actually in amazing condition. It's near mint, and that is for the film She Freak. This is a Magnum Entertainment big box. Just look at that artwork right there. Very, very cool. It's a She Freak right there. And like I said, very, very nice shape all the way around. And then here's the back. I believe this is an older film. I forget when this film was released. This actual big box came out in 1985 is what the copyright date says, but I forgot when this film came out. I believe it came out in the 70s. But yeah, very happy to own this. I love these big boxes, and I do plan on, I do want more, so really happy to own these three. And the last thing I want to show is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It's one of my favorite movies to watch on Halloween, and that is The Midnight Hour. This is the clamshell, the red clamshell from Anchor Bay. Now, as you guys may know, I do own this release of The Midnight Hour. I do have a copy. The only problem is that somebody wrote on it in black permanent marker. That's why whenever I show off my horror VHSs, or if you go back and you watch my Anchor Bay VHS collection, you always see me like hold it like this, and that's because someone had written on black permanent marker on the cover. So I've been wanting to get a release that didn't have that, and I'm really glad to have this. As you can see, it's a little bit, don't know if that's water damage or what, but it's not in the best shape. And the case itself has wrinkles on it, and it's just kind of, it's just not in the best shape. But I am happy to own it. I'm happy to own one where I can look at it and I can actually look at the artwork and not see writing on it. So, very happy to own this. Absolutely love this movie. One of my favorite films, favorite horror movies, favorite Halloween films, and it's definitely one I highly recommend. I'd love to eventually get the other VHS release of it and the DVD if I can, but I know how rare the DVD is, and it's really expensive online. But I would love to see Scream Factory or Arrow Video or anybody put this movie out on Blu-ray, because I know it deserves it. I know there's a huge fan base for this movie. Like whenever I see a list of horror movies that deserve Blu-ray releases, this is one movie that gets mentioned all the time, and so there's a market for it. So whoever owns the rights to it, I don't know. I know Anchor Bay put out the tape. I don't know if they own the video rights or whoever does, but I really wish that somebody would, whoever owns the rights, please, Scream Factory, Arrow Video, just, any Vestron, no, probably not, because they release, anyway, but, just somebody put this movie out, on Blu-ray and DVD, please. Well, not DVD, but on Blu-ray, but, anyway, guys, I'm going off. But anyway, guys, that is it. Pretty big update, a lot of cool stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed my update. Let me know what you guys think about everything I showed off. And yeah, a lot of really cool stuff. Really happy to own Halloween on 4K. Really happy to own these horror big box VHSs. I didn't really talk about them as much, but I do want to get into collecting those. I do know a good amount of I do know a good amount of big boxes. I'm not somebody that's just like, oh, these are cool, I'm going to get into them. No, I actually know, a good amount of history behind big boxes and how that they were at one point the main way to watch movies on VHS. And I think that they're just very, very cool, and I want to get more. Very happy to own a release of The Midnight Hour and, everything else. Very, very cool. So anyway, guys, as always, if you guys want to follow me on Facebook and Twitter, links will be down below in the description box. And if you guys want to join my movie collecting Facebook group, link will be down below as well. Sorry guys, I have my fan off and it is really hot up here, so I'm just sweating like a pig. Anyway guys, let me get you out of here. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great Saturday.